नमस्ते दोस्तों। गुड मॉर्निंग। आज संडे है। जिसे मैं मेडिटेशन सेशंस पहले जैसे करता था वैसे ही कर रहा हूँ अभी। तो ये मेडिटेशन सेशन कर रहा हूँ मैं। आज हम बात करेंगे कैसे जो आप सैड होते हो तो सैडनेस को कैसे कंट्रोल करना है, तो वो मेडिटेशन सेशन है आज।
Hi, and welcome back into day 8. So yesterday we were looking at this idea of impermanence and how we tend to identify with sadness very often as this thing, this unchanging thing. But today I'd like to look at, it's almost an extension of that. It's still the way we identify with it, but it's our use of language in our head and the way we talk to ourselves. This internal dialogue that goes on in the mind and how often it includes the idea or the words of me, myself, or I. So this isn't a criticism. We all do it all of the time. It's very natural, but it's worth looking at how helpful it is. So if we're constantly saying to ourselves internally, I feel sad, or why do I always feel like this, or it's not fair, I don't want to feel like this, we're essentially setting up and identifying with the feeling of sadness. We're saying that's who we are, that's what we've become. Again, it doesn't matter whether it's sadness or frustration or anger, whatever it might be. We're almost becoming that emotion by using that language. So as much as possible, definitely within this exercise, but ideally throughout the day as well, try to notice when you're using that type of language, when you're using a lot of I in the mind in relation to the feelings and to the thoughts. If you think about the exercise itself, the noting is so simple. It doesn't even include the I. It's stripped right back. It's not I am thinking. It's simply thinking or feeling. And that's sort of why it helps to create this sense of space. It's not really about us. It's simply about what's being observed, what's being experienced in the moment. So not identifying too strongly with it. Again, another really helpful way of loosening up this habit. Right now, though, just take a moment. Make sure you're sitting comfortably. Sitting upright, the eyes open. And then when you're ready, just starting with some nice big deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the next out breath, just gently closing the eyes, allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. As you just settle back into the space around you now. I'm just starting to get a sense of how the body's feeling now. So seeing it afresh, not bringing any previous feelings to today's exercise, but just noticing how it feels right now as you scan down from head to toe. And now just shifting the attention to the breath. Remember, if you can't feel anything, just gently placing your hand on the stomach. To begin with, just noticing where in the body is that movement. And noticing whether the breaths are long or short, deep or shallow. And as you continue to follow the breath, remember counting if you find it helpful, allowing thoughts to come and go. Doesn't matter what the thought was that distracted you, what the feeling was. Simply noting it as thinking or feeling and coming back to the breath again. So as you continue to follow the breath, not filtering the thoughts in any way. Doesn't matter the type of thought, type of feeling that arises in the mind. The dynamic of letting go is just the same. We see it, we note it, we let it go, and return to the breath. And just letting go of that focus now. Just allowing the mind a moment or two just to do whatever it wants to do. If it wants to think, let it think. And just bringing the attention now back to the body, just starting to feel the weight of the body again, pressing down, those points of contact, starting to notice the different sounds, maybe different smells around you. as you just become more familiar with that space, and you can open your eyes when you're ready. But as always, just pausing for a moment to notice how the mind feels, how the body feels, knowing that that awareness, you can carry that into your day. And as you do so, to just catch yourself when you realize you're using a lot of me, myself, and I in that language in the mind, not in a critical way, not in a judgmental way, not giving yourself a hard time about it. It's perfectly natural. But just knowing that that identification with I feel like this it's part of the storyline, and it tends to encourage more thoughts of a similar nature, more emotions of a similar nature. It's just a crazy thing. The mind wants to feel a sense of security and stability, even if that feeling is very unpleasant or even painful. But as we do in this exercise with this noting, as we start to begin to have a more passive relationship with the thoughts and emotions that we experience, then we start to feel a little lighter. We identify with them less, and therefore we tend to experience them a lot less as well. And as we move into part 2 in a few days' time, we're going to look at how we can create a greater sense of flow in the mind, how we can move away perhaps from this feeling of being a little bit stuck. But in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for day 9.
सो आज का मेडिटेशन सेशन था. आई होप आपने भी किया है, और ये वीडियो मतलब मेरे चैनल पे आ जाएगा, तो उसको देख के आप ये मेडिटेशन कर सकते हो. बहुत ही हेल्पफुल मेडिटेशन है, और मैं बता रहा हूँ कि मैंने मतलब ये प्रीमियम सब्सक्रिप्शन है मेडिटेशन का, तो आप लोगों को ये करने का मौका मिल रहा है, तो इसको ज़रूर आप करिए और इससे आपको ज़रूर फ़ायदा होगा. तो थैंक्स अ लॉट एंड ऑल द बेस्ट. कीप फाइटिंग.